What the fuck? Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mike at Force Fitness Club, and I'm in a little bit of traffic, so I want an opportunity to talk. It's always good when you're driving, as long as you don't crash. Crashing's bad. I made a video yesterday, day before, and I got a lot of questions about it. It was something I put on my personal page. I didn't really share it here, but it's definitely worth talking about because a lot of people are asking me about it and about the chart that I put up. So I'll put the chart here as well. But basically we're talking about what's going on with the business closures and COVID. And I was talking about the gym. We're considered non-essential. And it seems like the general consensus from people who don't work out is that we're non-essential. We're a bunch of meatheads and female meatheads who care more about our abs and our butt and buff shoulders, and we want to look good for our Instagram videos and photos, and that's certainly not essential. But that's not what the fitness business is it? Right? That's not what a gym is. Anybody that works out enough knows that that's absolutely not what it's about. It's about a ton more than that. And when I say I think we're essential, I think we really are essential, right? There are people who come here and they work through psychological, mental, physical, spiritual problems. Spiritual. If you try putting 400 pounds on your back, I promise you're going to go through a spiritual experience. Fail or not, succeed at the lift, you're gonna change a little bit, because having that kind of weight or pushing your body, even if it's not that much weight, but it's just a hard workout. When you push yourself that hard, that's a spiritual experience. That teaches you about yourself. But either way, we're essential to people. There are people who wouldn't be walking on the planet today if it wasn't for their gym. Literally, there are people who would not have survived. There are people who'd be dead in a variety of ways, whether it's a physical ailment, a mental ailment. There are people that I know for a fact that just wouldn't be here. And I think that makes us essential. But most people don't think that. And certainly our governor doesn't think that. And so we're categorized as high risk. Now, pre-COVID, or when COVID broke out, there was this idea that there were some clusters that were traced back to fitness clubs, maybe. And I can understand that. And we all shut down. And when we reopened, they asked us to change the way we do things, to adopt new protocols that cost a lot of money, daily, but it's going to be different, but we have to do it. Now, we were never a dirty gym. Everyone knows Force Fitness was a pretty clean gym. There are dirty gyms out there. Our gym was not one of them. But it's a whole new level now. Again, spending the kind of money like putting these Remy Halo air purifiers in each of our air conditioning and heating systems. These things actually sanitize and purify the air in the entire gym. I defy you to catch a cold at the gym. It's not that easy right now. Our gym is clean. Our members follow protocol for the most part. Yeah, there are people who don't, but again, we've increased the likelihood that you will not catch a virus or a cold or anything in our gym because of the protocol set out. There's a chance anywhere you go, right? But they asked us to do all these things. They asked us to change. They said, we need you to change because we need to mitigate the risk of spreading COVID. Well, we did that. We spent the money. We adopted the protocols. We did succeed at doing exactly what the government asked of us. We reduced the chance of you catching COVID. And not only did we do that, we have shown since August 24th in New York State alone, New York State, the whole state, that the incidence of COVID traced to a gym is 0.0008%. If you don't know what that means it's so low that it is statistically negligible. It's not even counted. That's how many incidents of COVID are traced back to a gym. There are people with COVID out there, and they've had to, for contact tracing, say, hey, I was at that gym or this gym. But in that gym, there hasn't been an outbreak, which means that being in our gym, even though they may have had COVID, they didn't spread it. And the reason is of all the protocols and how much that we're all adhering to those protocols. So there's no spread. So we are not contributing to the spread of COVID. Yet, they continue to include us in alongside industries that are possibly contributing to the spread of COVID. That is completely frustrating. To me, it's completely unacceptable. It's something that should not be happening. If you ask us to do something, we change and flip the script and succeed at what you wanted us to do, then we should be judged based on that. But we're being judged based on what you thought, a year ago, 8 months ago, whatever it is at this point. And that, that's just not right. And you're harming an industry. You're not only harming an industry, you're harming people who depend on fitness clubs to sort out their issues or problems. And you know what? Yeah, there are people who just want nice abs and want to look good. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not a reason to dismiss the entire industry, which is what's happening. We're being dismissed. And, I've had conversations and, big reasons for it, potentially. And I heard this from Angel. So Angel, if you're watching, this is from you. But potentially, there's very little tax revenue coming from the fitness business. There's a ton of tax revenue coming from cigarettes and alcohol, which is why you can get those things through a shutdown, but you can't actually work out. And so they don't really care to change their opinion of the fitness industry because I guess we're irrelevant to them. That seems to be the case because it doesn't matter what we say or do, they'll just categorize us as a super high risk business. And when they say that, the general public believes it. And that's a problem because it is not the story. The story of a fitness club is different than what's being portrayed. And it's harming us. We're looking at another shutdown potentially. For how long, I don't know. We will get through it. Force has been there 12 years now, and I don't see us going anywhere. But to close us down again, it's just, and at a time through the holidays when stress increases, suicide increases, depression increases, all these things that are mitigated by exercise and fitness. There are people every year that come to a gym and work out harder at this time because they need to work out all the stress just dealing with the holidays. I'm sorry that that happens. I don't get stressed out around the holidays. I love the holidays, and a lot of you do too, but it does increase stress at times. And now you're going to take away something that will help with that. You're only going to see those numbers increase for sure. This was my frustration. Again, 0.0008% is the incidence of COVID attributed to a fitness facility in New York State since August 24th, since we reopened. That is a number that has to be spread. You have to tell people about it. People need to recognize that. It's not something you just dismiss. We're not an industry to just be dismissed, and I'm not going to be just dismissed because that's how it feels. It feels like no matter what I do, they're not going to care, and I'm just going to be thrown around like a rag doll and just at the whim of whatever the fuck they say. Because again, some of their decisions are arbitrary. Let's talk a little bit about classes. One of the decisions that de Blasio made was that we can reopen the gym, but no classes. Because classes congregate people. Well, de Blasio, you've never spent the time in a gym, obviously, because what the hell are you doing when you walk into a weight room? There's people everywhere. It's literally asinine. Because in a class is the only place where there's an instructor present at every moment that can make sure that everybody is wearing exactly what they got to wear, cleaning every piece of equipment, and standing where they need to stand. That's the only place we can... little technical difficulty, but so a class is where there's no reason not to have classes, but it's an arbitrary decision by someone that doesn't understand the industry, that doesn't understand anything about it, and it's just making a call that makes no sense whatsoever. So the idea that some of these decisions that are being made are all perfectly planned out is craziness. Ask anybody that works for the Board of Education and ask them if decisions have been planned out right and if everything is going to plan, because it's a hot mess in the Board of Ed, and this is a hot mess for us. So that's my piece. I just wanted to share some of it. I am absolutely willing to talk more about it, but to sweep an industry under the rug or throw it under the bus is a better way of saying it, you know, based on zero facts, based on zero evidence. I mean, I thought that's what we were doing. We're working on science. We're basing it on science. We're saying, hey, science is telling us how to counteract the virus, and we have to go by the numbers that are being generated as time goes on. We've learned more about COVID, how it harms people. We've learned how to treat people so that way the death rate is not as high anymore. We're learning through science. Well, science is telling you the places that are spreading things the most. And why would you blanket close everybody? Why would you blanket close everybody if there are places where you can trace hotspots? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It is what it is. But, you know, you guys, if we do shut down, you know, we got your back. We're going to have outdoor classes. We're going to get some heaters, do our best out there to keep some warmth. We're going to have some online offerings. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. So, you know, don't fret. We'll get through the holidays together, and then we'll be back. So if and when we close, you know, that's it. Have questions, post, DM me. I'm in. Love to have some more conversation about this because I got a lot more to say, to be honest. But I just want to get this out right now. All right, guys. Have a good one. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.